I love horror movies. They turn me on. I just have to make love afterwards.
Hi YouTubers, I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and today I got a top 10 list for you that, well, are not even a top 10 list. This is a list of 10 adult movies that mix in the horror genre in some way or another. Some are straight up parodies of our beloved horror films or even music videos, while some are telling new stories while playing with the horror elements. The reason why I'm not going to call this a top 10 list is because I have not seen nearly enough of this type of films for this to be a justifiable top 10. I am also not focusing that much on the porn part of these films, as those are not the parts that are all that interesting to me. It's the horror parts of these films or the way they handle it that sparks my interest. So yeah, grab some popcorn and a notebook to write down some titles in. Here are 10 horror porn movies that you probably never heard of. As Taras do Mini Vampiro, or Little Vampire Taints, The Perversion of the Mini Vampire, or The Attack of the Little Vampire as its English titles, is a 1987 Brazilian porno featuring a midget vampire named Chumbinho. This crazy-ass film delivers in plenty of ways and is exactly the type of film that influenced me into creating this list in the first place. You have a guy who's jerking off while enjoying the view of a horse's ass, you have the mini vampire giving a girl head on her period, of course, and you also have stolen music cues from popular films such as Rocky. There is more male nudity than female nudity in this film, and I can't imagine that this was actually made to entice anyone. I have no idea what the fuck the filmmakers were trying to do with this film, and who they looked at as their audience for this, but even if I might be one of the 25 people that have seen this, judging solely by the amount of IMDb votes, I am happy that weird shit like this exists and are out there in the world to be discovered.
Thank you.
Many might have been feeling some zombie fatigue over the last 10 years, but if you are on the opposite side and want your undead flicks to go sexy, then Dawn of the Dead from 2008 might be it for you. This movie has, like many other adult features, a very simple story. Two girls are heading out to a cemetery as one of the girls has an ex-boyfriend who are resting there. They bring out a Ouija board, do some Ouijaing, if that's even a word, and then one of them proceeds to masturbate and then squirt some vagina juice that brings the undead back to life, stiff and ready for brutal love.
My love, speak to me through the spirit board. Are you there?
Honestly, Dawn of the Dead is kind of shit. While the setup with a promise of a story together with the 70s grindhouse film grain filter might invite you into the film, you will quickly lose interest as it turns out to be a repetitive porn movie with dull sex scenes on the exact same spot every time. It doesn't look like the ones involved either cared or had any interest in what they were doing on this film. While it does have some surprisingly nice music to it, it was obviously a quick attempt at making some quick bucks on the horror crowd. And it worked, as I'm sitting here with a limited edition VHS release of it myself while I'm talking down on the film. Due to it having a few gore scenes in it and the fact that zombie fucking is quite insane, I am throwing it into the list even though I absolutely do not recommend this to anyone. Oh man, Driller, a sexual thriller from 1984 might just be my biggest porn discovery ever.
Something now is getting hot. What you need is what I got.
How can I miss this for all of my adult life? Taking inspiration from Michael Jackson's fantastic music video Thriller and then adding porn to it sounds like a winner. But this one wins even more than expected. Even though it does have a low budget, they still did what they could with it, adding some original songs, dance choreography, werewolf penis, and yeah, you name it. Sadly, it takes a turn for the worse after 30 minutes and goes off into a castle for an endless amount of sexual orgies. It loses a bit of its initial steam after that, but due to some funny dance scenes, weird creatures, and hilarious dialogue and voiceovers, it is an entertaining as hell porn film that are more for those who want to sit and laugh at the absurdity that takes place and are not that concerned with doing some self-pleasuring. I had so much fun with this film that I did a full-length review of it, so if you want more on this film, then check out my full video review of it on my channel. If you don't, then just remember that this became one of my favorite adult features that I've ever seen. Yeah, so I watched Gay Rockula. I watched a gay porn movie just for your viewing pleasures. Gay Rockula is a strange American adult feature from 1983 by a guy named Roger Earl, and something as rare as 2 screenwriters with the probably fake names Laurie I. Lee and Dorothy Psaw being credited for penning this masterpiece. It's an odd film as there is hardly any plot to it, but it feels like a film that had enough care put into it to make you want there to actually be some kind of plot or meaning behind this. There is hardly 2 minutes between each sex scene, and while I'm not the target audience for this and won't be judging the sex scenes, I do believe that even those who might find pleasure in the sexual acts of the film wouldn't mind a bit more of a coherent story to bite into. The production is of course cheap as hell, but there is still an attempt there, and do believe that the ones involved was happy with what they were doing. If you're into adult gay movies, then I'm sure that this will be right up your alley. For me, this one has a bit too much penis wiggling to my liking, and homosexual sex just looks like it hurts to me. Even so, it was an interesting experience, and it would be cheating since I knew about this film if I didn't watch it and include it on this list. Hardgore, aka Horror, aka Sado Asylum, is a 70s porn film that follows a young girl who are committed to a mental institution to cure her from her nymphomania, of course. The hospital is not what it seems, however, as there is a satanic, orgy-loving cult residing there, which of course do not hesitate to add the young girl to the nightly activities. Hardgore is one of the earlier X-rated movies that mixes sex and violence. It is all done in a surrealistic 70s no-budget style with plenty of weirdness in it.
Just relax. Everything's gonna be all right.
All right, my ass.
It goes into bizarre territory by having the main chick have some weird dreams, which include floating dildos, penises being cut off, and some lovely necrophilia added to the mix. The horror part of this film is purely the violence, and it is done very amateurish, but still has a chilling vibe to it. It is not done with humor like most of the other films on this list, and Hardgore at its best is even a bit shocking, but just a bit. It is a film worth seeing for those who are aficionados of the 70s porn era, but I doubt that any regular horror fan will find much to enjoy about Hardgore. The next on the list is Hung Wankenstein. You just gotta love these titles. This is a 2001 movie by Jim Enrich. In it we follow experienced porn actor Randy Spears as Dr. Wankenstein, who heads out to his ancestors' castle to find and fulfill the creation of a big monster who are just missing a bigger cock to be 100% complete. This is a love letter to old school monster movies that surprisingly has a lot of humor and charm to it. It's goofy, silly, and somehow innocent, while still having the best sex scenes out of all the movies I'm talking about in this video. They actually give some time for the characters to have clothes on, allowing them to have some fun and deliver dialogue that not only makes fun of the film's premise, but also goes meta and laughs at itself as well.
Oh, whoa, 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 you come back here. You owe me a sex scene.
Oh, you what?
A sex scene. I was brought here to do a sex scene, and I'll be damned if that cheap-ass production manager is gonna get out of here paying me for just dialogue.
Hung Wankenstein surprised me in how entertaining it was, and it is certainly a film that must be seen by fans of this kind of stuff. Lena Meets Frankenstein is a shot-on-video 1993 film comedy spoof that basically could be looked at as a remake of Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein. It goes from black and white and into color and has beloved creatures like Dracula, the Wolfman, and Frankenstein doing young ladies. That might sound like a good old time, but unlike Hung Wankenstein, all the jokes here fall flat. And the crappy VHS copy that I watched didn't exactly save it from being just a dull experience. The Lena part of the title refers to the main chick, who I guess was big enough in the porn world at the time to get her name in the title. If you enjoy the idea of the old universal monsters unrobing and getting on with ladies, then I guess this might be suited for you. But there are better vampire pornos out there though, so this is not the one I would recommend hunting down. A Wet Dream on Elm Street is a 2011 porn parody of course, Nightmare on Elm Street. Now this is just a bizarre movie to use as a porn spoof. Of course I can see the humor in having Freddy Krueger in a comedic porn spoof. But did the filmmakers of this remember or even know that Freddy originally was a child molester? The movie itself is cheap and crappy. Freddy Fingers, as he's called here, does not have knives on his gloves anymore, but rather dildos. Now that's funny in itself, but it was a bit disappointing that they hardly ever actually used this monstrous thing. The plot in the film takes up about 50 minutes of its entire running time, with most time being spent on 15 to 20 minute long dull sex scenes.
Oh my god! You're Edward James Olmos! I cannot believe it. I'm such a huge fan. I love Battlestar.
If you do enjoy regular modern porn, then I'm sure that this will be more in your interest than in mine. There are some funny dialogue in the film, which does save it from being a total waste of time, so if you have always had a dream of seeing Freddy fuck women, then I guess this is a perfect Christmas gift for you. Here's another more newer film on this list, with a 2006 spoof from Burning Angel called The XX Exorcist. Well, I'm not sure if you can even call it a feature film, as this thing only runs for a total of 47 minutes. There is hardly any story in The XX Exorcist, it basically just starts with Father Merkin, played by Tommy Pistol, showing up at the house of the McFeel family, where Mrs. McFeel is troubled due to her 20-year-old something daughter Regan Teresa acting possessed. And then there are 45 minutes of the three of them, yeah, both Mother McFeel and Daughter McFeel are feeling each other up, before the movie eventually ends. It's too bad that they didn't try to flesh out more of a story around this, as the concept of porn spoofing The Exorcist is hilarious in my mind.
You will never win. You will never save this soul.
Leave me no choice. I must perform a sexorcism!
Sadly, it's more or less just about the fucking, and that quickly becomes boring to me. There are a few funny lines in it, and it also does have some decent background rock music, but other than that, the best thing about the XX Exorcist is that it looks awesome on your DVD shelf. If this does sound like something you might enjoy though, then I should also mention that the same team also made Repenetrator and Evil Head. So if that's your thing, go nuts on the films from Burning Angel. The Texas Dildo Masquerade from 1998 is another one that I just had to create a full-length review of, which should be up pretty quickly after this video is done. This is actually a disturbing movie which tries to emulate the style of the original, and succeeds quite well for itself by doing so. It follows the premise closely from the movie it's spoofing off, and even has a Leatherface character, this time renamed more appropriately as Pussyface. There is chainsaw dildos, a dinner scene with Grandpa, and of course Ron Jeremy also shows up, the second time in this list actually. It takes full use of its shot-on-video style, and it is obviously done with respect and love for the original film. If you actually want a horror feel to your horror porn, then the Texas Dildo Masquerade should be the one for you. And for more info on it, make sure to check out my upcoming full-length review of it, coming to this channel very soon.
Well, that doesn't look very nice at all.
There it is. We've got it.
So there you have it, 10 films that for some reason or another decided to mix horror and porn together. I hope you found something to laugh at or something to seek out by this list, and if you want me to do another one on these videos, then let me know about it in the comment section below. The obvious follow-up for me would be a sci-fi porn video, and there are plenty of fun stuff there to be found as well. Check out my channel for other videos regarding strange, obscure films, check out my Patreon if you are one of those who enjoy supporting us YouTube creators, and of course and always, thank you for watching.